Yo, we just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your host is back, Straight Talk Wrestling, and I'm returning with the newly crowned PWA Grail's champion from MPW, from Impact Wrestling, now TNA Wrestling, from NXT UK, the one and only Rohan Raja. Welcome, finally, to Straight Talk.
Thanks for having me on. This is years in the making, like we were just talking before.
It is absolutely years in the making. Just to give everyone at home a little context, about 6 years ago, I saw this amazing talent at Destiny Wrestling, then part of the Desi Hit Squad, and with Champagne Singh, and then he's moved on to bigger heights, succeeding extramentally. Dude, my first question: Maple Leaf Pro, Grail's champion. Talk to me about the first question. Is Scott D'Amore, when you got the call to say, "Hey, I'm starting up Maple Leaf Pro again. I'm bringing it back. I want you to be a part of it." What was going through your head?
So I first heard about it when Scott filed the trademark. So when he filed the trademark, and I think I was still I was getting ready to move to North America from Europe, and I think I was still there. I think it was a few weeks before I had to leave, but I saw it pop up, and I was like, "Wow, this is interesting," because I hadn't spoke to him about it or anything like that. We have been in talks, obviously, like before that, prior, and yeah, that was really really interesting. I was like, "Damn it, you don't trademark something like that if it's not going to be a big deal, right? You can't revive like Maple Leaf and not make it a huge deal." But then, obviously, when we were speaking and he asked for me to be a part of it, it truly was was an honor, because I know of the history of Maple Leaf, and just knowing that it was going to be like, the biggest thing that Canada has missed is just the national, our national product. Like, the USA has WWE, AEW, like the Canada doesn't have their schnit. Like, they don't have their own, since Maple Leaf, I think, folded in that, I think in the 80s it got bought out by WWE. So it's like, it's been a shame that it's taken this long, but in the same way, it makes it that much more special. And I don't know if you watched the show or not, but everyone that was there live and watching, on Triller, like you just knew that this was a big deal. And the amount of messages I've been getting, I've been getting more messages now than I did when I signed with the WWE. Like it's a big deal, and like the people that are reaching out to me, and I'm like, wow. It's just, so since that, like, it's Wednesday, and my phone is still consistently just keeps going berserk, and I'm like, man, I gotta press like the silent button and then do not disturb.
You gotta let the man sleep at some point, okay? We all got
I mean, yeah, because it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, oh, why am I waking up so tired? I'm like, oh, that's why.
Man, honestly, I did watch the show. I purchased both night 1 and night 2 on Thriller, and it was dude, it was something to behold. Being a pro wrestling fan my entire life, and being at Maple Leaf shows back in the day when I was younger, and not really being able to understand what I was watching, and then going through life as a wrestling fan and seeing it come back in such a huge fashion after everything that had kind of happened with Scott and the departure from TNA, and then the announcement of him trademarking Maple Leaf Pro, and then the excitement started to build, and it was kind of, to be cliche, it was a little bit of a whisper. Then it became this loud bellow. That it became something that was undeniable. And those 2 days were just, as a Canadian wrestling fan, as a wrestling fan in general, just forget Canada for a second, but as a wrestling fan in general, to be part of that inaugural, 2 shows, whether it be in the crowd or watching at home, it was definitely something. The cool thing is that purchasing it on Thriller, I get to go back and watch it anytime I want. That's the great thing about on demand. That's the best part about it. But your match specifically, I was looking forward to, because I wanted to see you and Jake something go at it in this, elevated fashion, in this, big fight feel. And I feel like you guys delivered. There were so many amazing matches on both nights, but I will say you guys delivered. And seeing your hand get raised and seeing you raise that title, it must have been for you a little bit of overwhelming emotions, obviously, because you're, the first on this new promotion coming back, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, but also full circle moment from all the work that you've put in. all the, doors that you yourself have knocked on and not taken no for an answer. Like, you're hustling and you've been
Yeah.
killing it and you've been evolving and you've been doing everything right in pro wrestling. And to see you raise that Champions Grail, I'm not gonna lie, my man. I'm gonna get real with you for a second. I got a little emotional, a little teary in my eyes. I was like, finally, this fucking guy deserves it. So
Oh, I
from
appreciate that.
one friend from another dude, because we've known each other for a bit. We've talked on social media. It's not like I'm just a podcaster to be like, hey, Lance Storm was your trainer. How was that? No, none of that. This is a legit friendship, and to watch you evolve to what you've become is nothing short of truly amazing and inspiring, and showing everyone that, guess what? There's a spot for everyone in pro wrestling. You just got to want it bad enough. You got to want it and you got to take it. And you did that.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That really means a lot. And it's touching up on that too. I think so. You know, when they aired the video package of the Champions Grail and me and Jake and everything before, I was just in gorilla position and watching that again. Obviously, I've seen it on social medias and stuff, but watching it play live and the feeling of watching that, I was like, this is. I didn't even know how to explain. I was like, shit, this is fucking real. Like this is a big deal. And then I was getting hyped like behind the curtain. And then when my music hit and I came out, I just like the whole experience as a whole was great. And then getting that 1, 2, 3 at the end, I was emotion. I kept my face down because I didn't want to show like my emotion until I stood up so I could gather my composure, because I didn't want, you know me, so it's like you have that sympathetic reaction, but I didn't want the crowd to have that. I really wanted to, keep that persona high. And then when I raised the belt, Harry D, the ref, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've known Harry for a long time, and he said something. I'll keep it between me and him, but he said something in my ear, and I'm just like, "You prick!" I'm like, if this guy makes me cry, man. And I was just like, "Oh, this guy that he almost got me." I was like, "Nah." And then just everything, man, and just feeling that moment, I just knew that it was like a full circle moment, and it's now it's like whatever I want to do going forward, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when I want to do that, when I want to do this, when I want to do that. Like I'm the first like ever, and having guys like Ricky Dawson and his partner and Kenny Omega on this belt. I've brought it out behind me, so I'll bring it. I'll show the camera a bit later. It was just so surreal, and I just had a blast, man. And just doing that live promo afterwards, it really felt like Austin King of the Ring. Like that's what I was feeling like when I was walking up the ramp and seeing Mackenzie Mitchell came out. Just reminded me of him when he just elevated to the next level. And I feel like over the both nights, I really fucking brought it and showed everyone like I'm here to stay and I'm here to move mountains.
Absolutely, dude. You main event player I always knew. The rest of the world now knows. It's not a hidden secret anymore. It's legit. You are the total package. And that promo, like you said, that promo elevation, and it's got to be, again, I got to ask because it's got to be hard. You're coming up. You see Mackenzie Mitchell walking out. You're like, okay, I gotta, it's go time. Like, it's not finished. I just did a grueling match with Jake something. We just took each other to the limit. And now it's like, hey, what are your feelings? Well, shit.
It wasn't that I think I was just I was just really excited, man. It was the weirdest thing. This was the biggest match of my career, and it was the most fun I've ever had. And I was speaking to someone earlier that when you hear that term in wrestling, when they're like, go have fun, like you'll hear that in, stories of wrestlers talking through podcasts and interviews and stuff. And I really didn't understand what that meant until the start of the year. I really understood what it is to have fun. And when you would think it would be such a high stress moment, panicking and stuff like that, or, it was just, I just had so much fun. And when I started speaking to that mic, I was like, fuck, I fucking, like, this is my moment. Like, I just seized it. And and just like, man, I'm getting like butterflies still thinking about it now. And it's something that no matter how much more successful I get, I'm going to look back on that moment and be like, that was my Austin King of the Ring. That that was the time where people like were like, shit, this guy's a main event player.
Absolutely. And I mean, walking back through the curtain, seeing Scott, I know he's a man of all business, but I know in my heart, you don't have to tell me, but I know. Why? Actually, I'm asking you to tell me. Was there an embrace? Was there a hug? You did it, man. You did what I always knew you could do, because I know everyone that Scott handpicked to be part of this show, he saw something special in all of them, and he wanted to tell everybody.
It was so when I came through the curtain, there was actually a live promo that was being filmed with Bully Ray before his match with Raj, and then I had to make sure to quickly like go out. I was like, oh damn! So I went round. So I had this moment. This was kind of like a cool moment. So I had to go round, and there was like all these the roster and everyone that was just in front of me. They were filming here, but I was just in the middle point where I couldn't move. So I had to just wait there until the promo was done. And I was holding it, man. And I was just like, holy shit, like just looking at it. I could see everyone just staring at me, like, you know, smiling, and like they're wanting to come over, like they can't really, right? And then once the promo ended and he did his entrance, I walked around and had my moments there. And I saw, when I eventually spoke to Scott, we had you know, we had a little moment there too. And he gets it, man. Like, he's someone that he was doing such good work in TNA, and then he got let go and, you know, went through all that. And it was similar to when NXT UK folded. And I was like my best match for NXT was a 4-way tag title match. And I remember that set of tapings. I smashed a promo. I did like the best match of the night, and I was on such a high. And then that closure happened and I was like, oh man, this is like, I just knew, because it was like I'm good enough. But then all that happened, and it just felt like it gave me a bit of a chip on my shoulder, like similar. I'm sure that Scott would have with a chip on his shoulder, right? He wants to prove why he belongs, and I feel like both of us in our own way did that that night and over the weekend. And it's one of those moments that I think that moment, in obviously I've had some cool moments in my career with my WWE debut and things, but when I look at it as a whole and what it meant, it really did solidify everything for me, and it really did show what things are to come.
Absolutely. And it's now given Canada that much needed platform. A lot of people talked about, like, when NXT UK started, there were whispers of an NXT Mexico, there were whispers of an NXT North. There was all these whispers that they were just going to go globally with it, and it didn't happen. And that's fine. You know what? Because we don't need NXT North. We don't need AEW North. We don't need we don't, even though TNA was kind of Canada's promotion, because 90% of the roster is Canadian, for fuck's sakes. But now we have back what was always something special to us. And I think with that crowd, that energy, the fact that every match delivered, the fact that we got to see everyone on the biggest stage and brightest lights that could be provided at the time, and it's only going to get bigger, it was something real. And it was like, have you had a chance to kind of come down from that weekend? I mean, I get it. You're still emotions. Your phone's still going crazy. I hope it's not going crazy right now. If you're messaging him, don't message right now.
It's on Do Not Disturb. Real good.
Perfect. But like, seriously, honestly, and truly, like, you get back to your hotel room, or you get back into your car and you drive home and you do all that stuff, and you're just sitting there after a whirlwind 48 hours. What do? Do you just sit there and reflect on your whole career, or you just reflect on this last little period where you've shown everybody what most of us, someone especially like myself, knew from the get-go about you?
So I think so. After the first night, so I won the title on the first night. I was really excited, but then I knew the weekend wasn't done, so I put it on pause a little bit. Like, obviously I embraced it whilst I was there and everything like that. But when you get home, that you always hear those stories where they're like, they go to their hotel room and look at it and everything like that. I did have that, and I just had to remind myself. I'm like, hey, the weekend's not done. You've got another show. You got shit to do. Like you represent now. Like, you've got to go. And I was like, okay. So I put it on pause, and then after the second show was done and everything, and then I a bunch of us went out to eat and everything. But then by the time I got back home, that was when I was just like had the belt out, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And it was like I was just thinking about all the moments of like my career, and I was like, you know, when I started, within 2 years I got signed to TNA, and then I had my TNA run, and then I wanted, you know, I wanted more opportunities, so I asked out of my release, and then I had my WWE tryout. I was the only one that got signed from that tryout at the time, and then, you know, then I had my WWE debut, and then like had my WWE run, and then like NXT closed, and then, you know, I did all my stuff in the entertainment field, which was fun. But then this was like the just like a full circle moment. I was like, man, this is cool. Like I just knowing that like that my name is next to Ricky Dawson and Kenny Omega. Like I'm gonna look back. This is gonna be looked back on in like 15 years time, and just be like, oh damn, like my name's there. Like it's like I'm the first ever. I'm the first ever for that. Like it's crazy to think about that. And someone said on Twitter, I saw it pop up in my notifications, and this account said, hey, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that Rohan is the first inaugural in anything wrestling related who's of Indian descent, which is very cool. And I was like, wow, this is wicked. And then she's like, I'm not sure. And then I was like, I wonder if that's true. So if there's like researchers out there, if someone's able to find that out, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, we gotta fact check that. We do. We
gotta fact check that one. But if that's true too, like that's another cool bonus. But as a whole, being the first ever Champions Grail holder, like it's surreal. And this will make you laugh. That belt weighs 15 pounds of gold. And when I lifted that up, I was like, this is heavy. And just to give a perspective, the WWE belts are around 8 pounds.
Okay.
So this is heavy. And then I was just like, when I lifted it up at the end of the match, in the ring, it was okay. But then even after my promo at the end, when I lifted it up, I was like, oh, damn, this is heavy. This is heavy.
So now you gotta, whenever you cut a promo going forward, you gotta be like, you're never gonna take these 15, because you know everybody goes with the NWA title, the 10 pounds of gold. You're never gonna take these 15 pounds of gold off me. You gotta start building that into all your promos now, man.
No, I have to. And a little bonus too, I don't need to do a pre-pump before my matches now. I just gotta kill the
absolutely a little like this, walking by, Scott's like, you ready? You'd be like, absolutely, man, just give me another 10 reps and we're good to go. But I want to talk about another special moment. There was a picture that was shared on social media of you, Raj Jesse, you know, your former tag team partner there, and everybody, all those South Asian wrestlers that were representing at the show. And it was incredible. There's a couple names that are escaping me. I'm sorry about that. But you're all in that picture. And I sat down with Raj Jesse literally a month ago, and we talked a lot about representation and a lot about the fact that there's enough places for a lot of South Asian talent to thrive and to be seen. And I feel like that picture personified all of that, because South Asian culture and history and you know, wrestlers were represented in a whole at Maple Leaf Pro. And that's what Canada is about. We're about celebrating the diversity, but also representing who we are as a whole, as a nation. And we're damn proud to be as eclectic as we are, because I live in Brampton, one of the most eclectic cities, which also has some of the banging. And I'll put it, I know you lived in the UK for a long time, but I don't care. We have better Indian food out here than you do in the UK. I don't care, man. I will challenge you to it, my dude.
Yeah, do you know what
going on, bro?
I have tried. I can't remember the place, but I did try something in Brampton, and I was like, "This tastes like my mum's and grandma's cooking." I was like, "You don't get any everywhere where you go. Like when you have Indian food, like you go to places, and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't have that feeling." I can't remember what the place was, and I was like, "Damn!" And then I remember someone was like, I was trying to like play it cool. I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." I was like, "Yeah, this is really good."
That's why he doesn't want to tell the place, because he doesn't want to make mama and grandma upset. That's okay. That's okay. Honestly, like I love South Asian culture. I love the food. I mean, dude, naan bread and butter chicken. Oh, dude, I eat that forever. And you know, you can look at me. I'm a man who's never missed a meal. Okay, and I've eaten many butter chicken in my life, but I'm a glutton for the bread. I don't know what you guys do in that bread. The naan bread is just fire, dude. I don't know what's in it. It's like crack, man. I love it. I can't get enough of it. Can't get enough of it.
It's you never, even if you have like if there's one that, you know, if you leave bread out too long and like gets stale and stuff. Like I remember like I had naan bread out once, and I left it, and I was like, oh shoot, and then like it was stale. I warmed it up, still ate it, and it was still good. And
So
you
good.
don't, that doesn't usually happen in a lot of food. When it goes stale, is probably never, it's not going to taste good.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like again with that picture with you were saying like I didn't realize the moment we were all in when we took those photos until they went on social media, and then I was sitting there and looking at it, and I was like, it just really was special how many um, South Asians were on that show, and it's not like we've put the stigma away. Like when you look at what Raj is doing, Raj Desi is doing now, you know, he's being a baby face every promotion he's going to besides GCW, and really enjoying what he's doing. Bhupinder, when you see Bhupinder Gujjar go out there and do his thing, that's really Bhupinder. Bhupinder's such a nice guy. He's one of the nicest guys in wrestling I've ever met. He's such a nice guy. Which Raj Singh, when he does his champagne stuff, that really is Raj. And like my thing now, like it really is me, but turned up. Like it's just very turned up. Like I think that's what we've been wanting to portray to the world, and you know, and the stigma of like evil foreign villain sort of thing like that. I want to be hated because I'm hated for me. Like, and I want to be liked because I'm liked for me. Like that's what I want to portray out, no matter what culture you've come from, and everything. And I love that we can all have different characters, but still show those appreciation to our heritages and stuff, which is very cool.
Absolutely. You know, yeah, speaking of champagne, like I know him very well as well. And yeah, you're right. It's literally him. When he comes into a show, I have never seen a man more polished with more charisma. When he walks in the door, you see he's got the sunglasses on, he's got the little chain, he's got the bracelets, he's got the watch, got the golf shirt tucked in, he's got the Gucci belt, and he's got the loafers. And he is like, he is much like Bhupinder. He is one of the nicest guys. And
Yeah.
Bhupinder, I've had so many good times, so many good laughs with Bhupinder. Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, what the hell are you eating? Because every time I see you, it's like you've gained a foot and you've also put on 20 pounds of muscle. Like, what are you? I don't understand. You, me and him could go to me and him could go to any restaurant. We could all eat. You guys would probably gain muscle somehow along the line. I would just get a third stomach. I don't know what's happening here. Like, what's going on? It's not fair. It's not fair, man. I don't like it. No, I do. Honestly, you guys are all fantastic human beings, and you guys are all some of the nicest people. Actually, I don't know if you remember this, but one of the first Destiny shows we were at, before I asked you about the coming on the show for an interview 6 years ago, you and Champagne were in the ring. You were the Desi Hit Squad, and I was sitting next to my buddy Manpreet. And you guys were there. You're getting booze. You're getting hate, and you both walked over to my buddy. You're like, "Hey, man, you from Brampton?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Brampton." I'm like, "I'm from Brampton too." And Champagne looked at me. He goes, "Shut up." But that guy's from Brampton. He's cool. I'm like, "What about me?" He's like, "You suck." And I was like, "What the hell? I'm from Brampton too, man. What the hell?" And you just gave me like the angry Tony look. You're like, and I was like, Jesus. I mean, fuck, I'm from Brampton too. What the hell's the hate about? I don't understand. But I loved everything about it. And you're right. Like, I mean, even when you guys were in the Desi Hit Squad and stuff like that, that was, again, the foreign bad guys. That's what was being represented. But now we can just look at you as Rohan. We got Champagne. We got Raj Desi, got Bhupinder. You guys are breaking the stigma one match at a time, one show at a time. Now, my next question, because this is an important question. Obviously, Maple Leaf Pro, huge success, first two shows in the can. More shows are going to be coming, hopefully a TV deal down the line. But have you been given the green light from Scott, obviously, to take that belt anywhere you get booked? Have you been given the opportunity to defend it at other promotions? Will we see you kind of carrying it with it until we know what the next stages for Maple Leaf Pro are?
So right now, what Maple Leaf are doing, they've created this pro wrestling alliance. So we have right now, there's Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, we've got Qatar, we have Oceania Pro Wrestling in Australia, and obviously there's more partners that are going to be into this promotion. So there are going to be, I'm going to be defending this in a lot of places worldwide. It's not going to be every indie show I do and things like that, but it's going to be a lot of big events. I'm going to be putting that on the line, and one of my next ones is December 21st in Melbourne in Australia. I haven't got a opponent for that yet. So whoever's listening, if you want to challenge me out, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I haven't got an opponent for that yet. And you know, there's going to be a lot of title matches I want to do. I want to be that champion that travels and defends and gets multiple successful defenses under my reign, and I don't look to give that belt up anytime soon. Like that thing is mine, and I want to represent that well. I can't say too much on it, but just know that there's going to be a lot of, like, 2025 is just going to be a big boom of what's happening, and I know bits and pieces, and it's really, they're building something very, very special, and even once the next Maple Leaf shows as well get announced, that is going to be something very truly special that the fans are gonna really sit back and be like, damn, this is crazy.
I can't wait for all of it, man. The ride so far leading up to this has been exceeding expectations. And again, watching you from that, friend perspective, somebody who's I've seen career blossom, I'm gonna be more prouder for you, man. And you couldn't find a better, more deserving person than you to represent that title. Now we've been talking about this belt, and I know you said you got it behind you. So come on, let me feast my eyes on the prize.
I took it out of my office to bring it out.
Perfect. Oh, look at that. Isn't that look at that? That's a stunner, man.
That's such a nice belt, and like on either end, so you've got the plaque of Ricky Dosen on this side. You can, there we go.
Yep.
Can't really see in the light. Yeah, and his partner, and then on the other, you've got Kenny Omega's here. And there's some really cool stuff. I was actually saying in an early interview I was doing, there's really cool Easter eggs in the title. So I'm not going to say what they are, but every time I do entrances and like even come out to shows, if you're watching live in person, just really look at the belt and you'll see some cool stuff. Yeah, like it's very, there's some where I had to be like this close looking into it, and I was just like, oh damn, like they've really gone above and beyond for this thing, and it's like, I might sound biased, but this is one of the most nicest belts I've ever come across.
You don't sound biased at all, man. You sound just like me. It's a gorgeous title. It's
it's a lovely, like they did a great job on it, and it's just every time I see it and every time I walk past it when it's in my office, it's you're just reminded of like the history on it. Like they had to get approval from Ricky Dosen's family to be able to do this, and this whole belt was forged legit from Legacies. Like the whole Forged in Excellence is a shoot. Like this whole thing was forged in Legacies, and to add my name to the thing, it's something truly special. Like it's a beautiful thing, and yeah, it's a constant reminder now, Matt. I love having this around because it's every time I see it, I know it's only been a few days since Maple Leaf, but it's every time I walk past it, it's just that it gives me that weird fire. Like I was really tired yesterday to go to the gym, and I was like, oh, maybe I've earned a good rest. And then I walked past it and I was like, no, I'm going to the gym. Like it gives me that extra champion mentality, man. Like even after this, like I had interviews all day today, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a nighttime gym session. Like I don't usually train at nighttime, but then I was like, yeah, you know what? It's not like that's like a burden thing. It's just that like a very exciting extra motivation and stuff, and it's something that truly it really is a like a privilege to have this, and it is weird. Just even now, you're asking these questions at the start, like what is it like, and I'm talking to you whilst I'm holding this, and it's weird. Like it's very surreal. Like I'm still kind of looking at it like, is this like are we having a dream or something? Like is this like am I the very first? Like it is very cool. Like there's one thing being the second, but you will never be the first. Like no one is ever going to take that from me. Mm-hmm. No matter how hard someone works, like I'm always going to be the first. So it's very inspiring, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Forged in excellence, now a part of history. That's a full circle moment. That
exactly.
that is the career thus far, because it's far from over. That is the career thus far of the work ethic that you have put in and how much you have driven yourself to success. You could have crumbled when NXT UK closed down. You could have just went to the acting stuff. You could have stayed there. You could have had success there. But you came back into pro wrestling because you knew you had unfinished business. And even as a champion, I feel you very much, like you said, it was your Austin King of the Ring moment. I feel like you will be a champion with a chip on your shoulder. I'm the first, but I have to continue to prove to myself and the world why I am the first. I got to prove to everyone that it's not a fluke. This was, to be cliche, destiny. That's what this was. And you
100%.
deserve it. You deserve it. And like I said, I couldn't be more prouder. And next time I see you, we're gonna have to meet up in Brampton. We're gonna have to find that spot. We're gonna have to eat that butter chicken. We're gonna have to eat that bread, and you are gonna see me pack down more naan than you have ever seen. Dude, I'm gonna be going with the pannier. I'm gonna be doing all of it. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, just give me all of it. I'm just gonna keep bringing it. It's gonna be an all you can eat, and we're gonna close the place down.
All right, what we'll do? Let's plan it on my cheat day,
Done.
and then literally, it's going to be a competition, so you can eat more.
Right, I'm so for it, man. I'm so for it. And at the end of it all, everyone's gonna come to the table and they're gonna be like, look at this, the Gori, he did it. He was better. He was better, bro. That's what it is.
Dude, if that happens, I'm not gonna be allowed back into that restaurant.
No. My picture will be up on the wall as a champion. Yeah. And every time you come to that restaurant, it's like, oh no, sorry, bro, we're full. But there's like 3 tables over there. No, sorry, man, they're full. And I'll walk by and like I'll pull up, I'll rent a Mercedes just for the day. I'll walk by, I'll be like, Tony, what's up, man? How you doing? You good? You good? You keep it strong, right, man? Before you go, my man, do me a favor. I need a shout out from you. Look in the camera. Let everybody know how much fun you finally had here on Straight Talk Wrestling, and they should subscribe and check out the channel.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Rohan Raja on Straight Talk Wrestling. Had a blast. You guys should really check out this channel. George is doing some great stuff, and this was a long time in the making. I'm sad it took this long for me to come on, but at the same time, it really does make this more special. And this is one of the most fun conversations I've had in a long time. So thank you for that. And thank you for having me on the show.
Always forever, brother. You know, you are officially a member of the Straight Talk family. Anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome. And I cannot wait until the next round of Maple Leaf shows. I cannot wait till I see you back at the Don Koloff. I cannot wait till I see how far your star rises. And keep doing it, man, because like I said, if anybody deserves it, you deserve it. So congratulations again.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for this one. Peace, love, and wrestling. We'll see you next time. Peace.
We just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the full ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.